Before text, before PowerPoints, before slides, before all that, stories were told through visuals, through art. From cave paintings to early manuscripts to three-dimensional art pieces, we've been using visuals to tell our stories for years and years. Visuals grab our attention. They have the ability to help us understand something quicker than words can. We're able to grasp concepts with a quick glance rather than reading paragraphs of text or having someone explain it to us. So why is that important? By using the combination of color, shapes, and typography, we're able to understand things quicker than we ever can and make our audience feel a certain type of way. What does this translate to the work we do, the things we do every day? And more importantly, how can we leverage this information to make impressions and impress people? So let's kick this off with color. This is personally one of my favorite topics, color psychology. So what is that? It's a study that aims to determine how color affects our day-to-day decisions. It's a great tool used to communicate certain feelings, influence moods, and physiological reactions and behaviors. Color is the ultimate mood setter. Colors can be immediately read as warm or cold, nostalgic or futuristic, edgy or traditional, and there's emotional dimension to them that's highly personal. Speaking of highly personal, I'm sure everybody saw that slide and thought, oh, blue is my favorite color. You're not alone. It's the most universally favored color of them all, and we can see why. Blue is unique and versatile, plus each shade of blue can mean something different. For instance, blue is linked to creativity, but a sky blue is linked to calming and something that can make somebody relax, whereas a deep blue is more serious and could mean loyalty and intelligence. When you look at a few words associated with blue, you come up with stability, peace, trust, responsibility, confidence, calmness, security, clarity, honesty, and even loyalty. Yellow. Now this is one of my favorites. I am a yellow girl. Yellow is the brightest color of the visual spectrum, and it's the most noticeable of colors to the human eye. It means happiness and optimism. It's the color of sun shining, our bright light of creativity. It's believed to have an influence on the left side of our brain, where deep thinking and perception dwells. So if you need to study hard, maybe put something of yellow near you. Perhaps you remember the picture with a bright yellow light bulb atop someone's head. That's because it has signification for a new idea. Something we think of with the color yellow, some words are happiness, optimism, positivity, and even summer. It's the color of summer. That's why there's pineapple here. So red. Red can excite you with emotions and motivate people to act. Plus, it signifies pioneering spirit and leadership qualities, promoting ambition and determination. Some words we think of are excitement, passion, danger, energy, and action. Now, pink is a color that has people very calm. It's not aggressive like red, rather suggests safety and vulnerability. In small doses, pink calms people, but if it is overused, it can lead to irritation and inspire feelings of weakness, especially in men. This is cited in one of my favorite books, Drunk Take Pink by Adam Alter. He gives the example of how opposing locker rooms, you put the color pink in or you paint a wall even, because as they're prepping for the big game, they see the pink and they feel actually physically weaker. Very interesting. So purple's next. Purple combines the stability of blue and the energy of red. Some words we think of are wisdom, mystery, the unknown, royalty, and adventure. Green is a lively color, symbolizes renewal and growth. It's the color you see most in the natural environment. It's the color of spring, when everything comes to life. It depicts the period when everything is live and unrolling its natural process. When you see something green, you think it's alive, right? It also means balance, calm, harmony. Other words to describe are growth, health, generosity, money. If you're trying to have a restart to your day, maybe put some green around you for that. Now, orange, I call this the chameleon color. You want to know why? It can mean so many different things, good and bad. For instance, it can mean creativity, adventure, enthusiasm, success, balance, but it can also mean hazard when it comes to traffic cones, or as you see here, fire. It's something we see naturally in fire. So the fun thing about color psychology is, yes, as humans, we all experience similar things, as in the calming ocean waters that are blue, the nature of green, and how that makes us feel of renewal. But it also is about the perceptions that we gain from our experiences in life. For instance, orange here, it's not one of my top 3 favorite colors, but it might be your number 1 favorite color because you went to a college with orange as their main color. You see? So similar to color, believe it or not, shapes also make us feel a certain way and structurally organize things in our brain. Out there's plenty of shapes. I could name millions and millions. But we're going to go with the 3 most common, being square, circle, and triangle. To start us off, circles represent completion, wholeness, and harmony. The circle or ring shape signifies positive emotional message. It also promotes the sense of community and unity. Things we think of with that is continuity, balance, cycle, unity, and protection. Next is squares. Squares are reliable, give stability, and suggest order. Clearly square. The square shape elicits stability and balance. It depicts strength, professionalism, and efficiency, especially in logo design. When we think of squares, we think of security, structure, order, stability, and even honesty. Triangles, these are very interesting because we as humans remember things in rules of 3, so things that are grouped in 3 are so much easier for us to recollect again. So it's used often in logo designs. Triangles that point up represent direction and power. Triangles that point down suggest instability, but provide direction. Things we think of are religion, stability, spirituality, creation, and combination. So now we're going to put this all together. I want to show you how the combination of color and shapes together can make you immediately know something without even seeing words. First, a red octagon. Stop. That's exactly what you think. Next, you see a green triangle and a brown rectangle. You know it's tree-related or nature or something of that nature. Next is technically just a yellow circle with some lines around it, but we know it might just be a sunny day popping up on that weather app. The fun part is, brands have used this as a brand distinction tool so that they don't even need to use words with their brand. For instance, Target uses 2 circular shapes for us to know that, hey, we might want to pull over, grab that gallon of milk, but also spend 2 hours in the store. Next, with just a color scheme of 4 different colors and rectangular shapes, we know that this is Microsoft. And one of my favorites, a Venn diagram of just the colors red and yellow making orange, to us know that this store accepts MasterCard as payment. Now, those were some simple shapes. Some brands have made it with making the shapes a little unique, but still using just a color palette and no words. For instance, Pepsi uses red, white, and blue, and a little curvature in the circle for Pepsi, as well as Nike, one of the most well-known logos out there, with just really 2 curved lines together using a color. And of course, Apple, probably the second or first known logo beyond Nike, can do that just with the image of an apple itself. So now we're going to bring typography into the mix. This is rounding it all out with all 3, and show you that style, weight of the font, all that come together to get you to have a feeling as you see these things. Like most things in design, it's a mood creator. Through font and typography, you'll be able to predict what the creator wanted you to feel from that instance. In fact, we can actually quickly guess a movie genre just by seeing the poster design alone. And with that, I'm going to start a game with you that is guess the movie poster genre. Are y'all ready? So with the same exact title of The Visit, you'll be able to tell what kind of visit it is. It'll just have simple imagery like this, silhouettes of actors, and you'll be able to recognize exactly what it is. So let's start off with this one. Basically, we've got some deep colors. We've got some navy, gray, and black with a blue fluorescent glow, and the typography itself is just a very thin sans serif font with some space in between, lots of silvers. Any guesses on what genre this might be? If you guess sci-fi, you're right. So sci-fi uses lots of glow to show the futuristic tech-related aspect. as well as using typefaces that are sans serif to kind of mimic what a computer would put out there. Next, we've got this one. There's high contrast between the people you see in the silhouette and the white background, as well as the font. The font is also a sans serif font, but it's very bold and in your face, really trying to get the message across. Any guesses on what genre this might be? If you guess comedy, you're right. Comedy or rom-com uses Arial, Helvetica, Futura, a few fonts to name, for comedy tile treatment. The big contrast is also a visual cue to you that it's going to be a very simple, contrasting plot line in the movie. So it's something you'll enjoy, you'll get it from the start. There you go. Next, we've got The Visit. This has one singular person in the middle, silhouette, usually focuses on one plot line there, but it has a lot of metal. The text itself, it's bold, it's thick like you saw before, but it feels like it's got some movement to it. It's usually tilted to the right. Any guesses? If you guessed action, you're right. Action's really cool because they do use bold sans serif fonts, but very block, square-like, and usually has some motion to it to show you the action movie you'll be seeing. Transformers, for instance, on the left, they use a lot of texture to it, and you see metallic in Transformers to show you the exact machines you'll be seeing in the film. As well as for Hunger Games, there's a lot of play with the fire element to show you that the girl on fire is about to go win the day. Okay, last one. I'm not going to describe this much because it might just be a dead giveaway. Any guesses? This one actually uses a serif font. If you guessed horror, you're right. So this one's actually pretty fun. There's one font name actually, that is used constantly in horror films. It's Trajan. And this is kind of a very thin, creepy type font that when you put the color red with just makes you think of the exact plot line you'll be seeing. So again, we're going to be combining colors, shapes, and typography, and I bet you guys can guess what logos these mean. So not only for movies, that was fun, but now for logo recognition, you can be able to tell what brand these are. So I'm going to start off with a gimme. We talked about this brand earlier. Four colors in the color scheme, rectangles, and this clear font. Any guesses? Microsoft. Next, we're going to use something that I used a lot in my preparation for this talk. Any guesses? Post-it. Good job. Okay, and this one has a unique color scheme with it. eBay. Okay, this next one, I feel like we all use many hours at this service. They bank on you knowing the vibrancy of the red as well as the curvature at the bottom of the font. Netflix. Good job. This next one has made an iconic logo out of just a green circle with some rounded lines in the middle. Yep, Spotify. Bet you want to push play after this. And now we've got this one that really, this logo banks on the fact that you know the arrow underneath. Amazon. Okay, so now we're going to get to some examples. Everyone loves a good before and after. We all watch HGTV, remodeling shows, that kind of thing. So now I'm going to show you what I do, like that, before Pariveda. My job, in a nutshell, is to clarify Pariveda's message through visuals. Not only does this make things look better, but it's able to communicate to our clients, our coworkers, et cetera, something so much quicker. I want to start by saying, don't get me wrong, I can't make these without the content first, and the words really do matter, but I want to show you how from before on the left side to the right on the right side, the after, the content has not changed at all. I put every single letter, word, sentence on the right as it is the left. So what you'll see here on the left is a before slide, and this was something given to me for a presentation, and it was for a conference. So the conference already had a color scheme. I really wanted to take that and have some fun with it. And I noticed that the title and the charts were the things that this presenter wanted the people to get. So I minimized the size of the number count, put that to the left, and then sparked up the title, as well as the chart. Similarly here, I kind of talked with them, figured out what was the most important thing. If a client or audience member could only get one thing, what is it you want? And he had said, it's the questions on the side I really want them to think about. So what happens on the left here, I'm sure you did it, is you look at what's on the right side of that computer and you say, okay, I'm seeing 3, maybe 4 of those questions of the 7. You don't really get through them all, right? So on the right, what we do is we have it animated to come up one at a time to give you that mental space to see it visually, think about it, and then see something else visually. So that happens. So even if a slide looks great, like on the left, I think this looks great. You can take it the extra mile by taking a client's brand guidelines and morphing what you have with those. So again, that's really what you'll find in brand guidelines, which is all Googleable. It's just color, brand elements, like what the company stands for, that kind of thing. So we actually had this football company we were proposing to, and we wanted to really tailor it to them, to really speak their language. And that's what happens visually is it's a sign of respect to show them that. So I took what's on the left, put it in the right. The reviews are in, and they said, you guys stood out because you spoke our language. Let that sit in. Think about how visually you can transform something you've already been working on, and it can speak their language, and you stand out from your competition. So I'm a graphic designer, but what can everyone do? What can anyone do? What can you do? Think next time you create a presentation. How does this list you've created in your mind or on a PowerPoint and bullet points, how does that relate to each other? Is it all holistic? Is it all circular related? Then maybe something like this you see on the screen is something you want. Or is it more something linear? Does it build on each other and you need something more like stepping stones? Think about that next time. 93% of purchasing decisions are made on visual perceptions. 85% of consumers cite color as their main reason for buying a particular product. So go out and be more creative. Get out of your comfort zone. I look forward to seeing how this new knowledge of visuals in the form of color, shapes, and typography can help you communicate something words can't. Thank you.